With the recent announcement of Mario Kart 8 at E3 2013, I felt the timing was perfect to create my first top 10 list. This will be about Mario Kart, my favorite top 10 Mario Kart tracks to be exact. I will specify the track choices, and no, I will not give generalized answers like Bowser's Castle or Rainbow Road. Anyways, take a seat, buckle up, and get ready for a ride. Keep in mind, this is my personal list. Like most people, my opinion is bound to change, and if it does, I might even renew this. Alright, enough with the disclaimer. Number 10. Luigi's Raceway. This track is simplicity at its finest. I've been a fan of simple racetracks ever since I was a kid. With a simple track, the only thing separating you from victory is proper drifts and proper item execution. And hopefully not getting hit by a blue shell at the end of the race. Those things can be a bitch. There's probably some bias going on in this selection, considering that this was probably the first map I have ever played in the Mario Kart series. Mario Kart 64 was my first Mario Kart game. Luigi's Raceway was the first track on Mushroom Cup, so it's only fitting that it was the first selection I picked. While I was recording footage for this top 10 list, Mario literally made himself spin out. Look, he threw the banana peel right in front of himself. Why the hell did he do that? Number 9. Cheeseland. First off, how awesome is the soundtrack to this racetrack? Well, all I know, it's up there, that's for sure. And secondly, I must ask how this map hasn't been brought back as a classic. It's definitely deserving. This track is full of twists and turns, and there are a lot of little Mousers scattered about. You know those guys, the guys in Paper Mario 64? Except they're only called Namita Mice. See? Very similar. Well anyways, they're here in this game as a cameo, and they are a pain in the ass. Though if you play your cards right, you should not have a problem with this racetrack, and I certainly love it for what it is. Listen to that music though. I thought the track was crazy enough without having too many traps. I'm looking at you, Yoshi Desert. Number 8. Toad Circuit. With Mario Kart 7 came new tracks, and along with it, Toad Circuit included. There's something about simple tracks for me, and I've mentioned this once and I'll probably mention it over and over. Hell, I even debated adding Mario Raceway on the N64 and Peach's Circuit on the Game Boy Advance, but I decided against it because they're kind of bland and adding every simple track could get a little repetitive for me. I guess I like straightforward tracks. I've always been a fan of drifting. I have enough to worry about my opponents with their items. I don't need the track out to get me also. Number 7. Baby Park. This track is simply put a gong show. Gong show. A word originating from Canadian junior hockey culture generally regarding the shitstorm that takes place after games. Or also, a gong show is another way of saying a crazy experience or a crazy event which involves crazy people. Stupid events lead to funny moments and usually route to gong shows. With 8 players racing on a microscopic track, all projectiles on this track are free game, and you may find yourself getting hit by a person who's nowhere near your position. Yes, this can be extremely annoying, but it also can be extremely gratifying when you're the one throwing the projectile. Especially with Bowser's shell. Jeez, that thing can take down anything. This track's unique, and so far there's no track that has been able to emulate the pure craziness involved in it. This is probably one of my favorite tracks to play with other people because, oh my god, it's you just have to do it yourself. When you play with other people on this track, you're gonna either end up breaking in laughter or starting a fight. But that's typical Mario Party games for you. Number 6. Wario Stadium. Personally, I feel Mario Kart 64 had the best tracks. I even made a poll on Game FAQs and every track was voted at least once. Anyways, never mind that. Wario Stadium is a dirt bike track, spoofed up into a kart raceway. Only Wario is narcissistic enough to plaster his face everywhere.
I'm a Wario. I'm gonna win.
To me, what makes this track awesome is the bumps. All the bumps. Yeah, not that bump. Especially that really huge jump before the finish line. I like that one because I like to place a stealthy banana just so the dumbass AI can drive into it and almost ruin their race. Since the rubber band AI, you can never really tell if their race is done. I feel inclined to mention the glitch at the beginning of this racetrack. It's great for showing your friends and foes alike that you can actually manipulate the game to your liking. And although I'm sure developers want to remove glitches, I think it means something that your fans are playing your game so much that they happen to find a glitch. I don't know what it is about old games and glitches, but they seem to have a unique charm that doesn't seem to substitute in new games. That's probably because new games usually get patched. Of course, developers don't want glitches because it shows their work is incomplete. I feel glitches are a unique charm that are kind of removed from new games. Number 5. Waluigi Stadium. This appears eerily similar to the last selection. Just like Wario Stadium, there are plenty of jumps, but this time there's fire involved. Yes, yes, I went there. But seriously, I like both these tracks because they're great for drifting, and I heard rumors that this is actually Wario Stadium remodeled. Although I don't know how that works off considering there's a Wario Stadium on Mario Kart DS. Either way, I love both tracks and I love drifting. They both suit me well. They're great fun. Number 4. Sky Garden. First off, I have to praise the music in this track as well. Secondly, is this track heaven? Alright, I kid. But how many tracks have you drifting on the clouds and racing in the sky? This track has no bounds, and it has no fences either, so make sure you don't fall off or you could cost yourself the race. So be careful. You'd think someone would clue and realize how dangerous this is. Anyways, it's very fun, and it's just one of the better tracks in Mario Kart Super Circuit. I'm glad it came back in Mario Kart DS. Number 3. Royal Raceway. Do you love big jumps? I love big jumps. Do you love twisty turns? I love twisty turns. You like drifting? No? Well, I find it okay. Oh well. Anyways, whether win or lose, I always have a blast whenever I play this track. Although, I do find it hard to play with beginners to Mario Kart because they always find a way to run into the river. I don't know. I guess they're not used to the turns. I did find it kind of hard when I first played the game. Since then, I have grown to appreciate it a lot more. I like the nice little touch of Peach's Castle, an Easter egg referencing Super Mario 64. My biggest gripe is if you're not careful on this track, you can actually miss the ramp for the big jump, and you might have to actually turn around and go back, which can cost you a race pretty easily. Then again, don't be an idiot and you won't have to worry about this issue like me. Number 2. Vanilla Lake 2. This track is just calming. I like the feeling of hopping around the glacial lake. Of course, since it's an ice map, Peach and Yoshi have a hard time racing here. Good thing I mainly use Luigi. Suck on this egg, Yoshi! This is my favorite map on Super Mario Kart, and probably Mario Kart Super Circuit as well. Too bad it's impossible to drift in those games. Well, not really impossible, but different than all the other Mario Karts. Either way, moving on, number 1. Number 1. What is it? What is it? I'm not telling you right away. No. Well, I'm gonna have to make another little disclaimer. This is just the track that was chosen when I was composing my list and, well, editing and recording the video. This may be subject to change. And my choice is... Alright. My choice is Bowser's Castle on the N64. What? No Rainbow Road? I know, Rainbow Road is awesome, but it is kind of annoying to play. And while it may be stunning visually and musically, I tend to find myself getting pissed off whenever I play any edition of it. Anyways, back to my selection here. I have to gratify not picking Rainbow Road. Anyways, I chose the N64 version because since I'm a major drifter, it possesses a challenge without busting my balls. Also, it gets bonus points for being the first 3D Bowser's Castle track, and having Marty the Green Thwomp! I think David Aaron Case said it best for the Super Nintendo and the Game Boy Advance editions. But one of them is just a ghetto thing on lava. That's nothing like a castle. Indeed it is! They look nothing like castles. They're just random ass pillars on lava that you drift around for a racetrack. I feel the new Bowser's Castles have too much going on around them. They get kinda chaotic. Not Baby Park chaotic, kind of get hit by a fireball and lose the race chaotic. And while they might be pleased to race on and they are perfectly fine racetracks on their own, they are not good enough to be on the top 10 list, so that's why I didn't pick any of the newer ones, and I guess nostalgia has something to do with it, and while they may be appealing to some, this is my list, and I'm a simple man. Kinda. Maybe absence makes the heart grow fonder. Maybe over the years I'll learn to appreciate other racetracks for what they are. It's tracks like Bowser's Castle and Wario Stadium that keep me coming back to Mario Kart 64 after all these years. I love Bowser's Castle's square turns. I love the chandelier that you have to climb up with all these other computers. And I love that big jump before the end of the race where you can also place bananas like Wario Stadium. And for some reason in Mario Kart 64, when a computer slips on a banana, they stop to a halt. I don't know why they do that, but it just makes fucking them up so much easier. Anyways, I'm gonna end off this video with a little bit of honorable mentions to racetracks that aren't on the top 10 list, and I'll list them off here. Koopa Troopa Beach, Waluigi Pinball, Frappe Snowland, DK's Jungle Parkway, Riverside Park, Snowland, Koopa Beach 1, Airship Fortress, DK Mountain, and Maple Treeway. And although I bet I'm missing plenty of other racetracks, the Mario Kart series has definitely brought about a high standard. I can only put 10 and I'm sorry if I missed yours. Anyways guys, if you disagree with me, feel free to post your own top 10 list, or maybe even just your favorite Mario Kart track that I left out. And hell, tell me why you like it. Also leave me a like down below, and give me a nice little subscribe if you like the video and want to see more videos. So, you know what guys? I have a Facebook and Twitter. You want to follow me on social media, there's that option. So, have a great day. Bye, guys. Click the annotations to check out the playlist to some of my Let's Plays. They're there for your enjoyment.